please show me the time when I'm until I can see the time. Okay, please.
Okay.
Okay. Begin. I'm the first politician scientist, Peter Jensen. Today we will having a debate. Should American government stop using the nuclear power plants? And we're going to narrow this topic to American government should stop using the nuclear power plants until the government has the technology to use it in a safe way. We had made a plan for this situation. The US government begins to stop some of nuclear power plants and using other energy sources instead, such as natural gas, oil, and coals, until all the nuclear power plants have been stopped, except a small nuclear power plants for study. People need keep studying about the nuclear power technology and making nuclear power plants gradually become more safety. When humans have the technology to control the nuclear power completely, we can start to build or use the nuclear power plants again. At last, humans have built all the nuclear power plants. Reasons why we need to stop using nuclear power plants is because first, it can cause a lot of pollution to the environment. It can pollute the environment by leaving radioactive elements from the nuclear waste. After burning down the nuclear power, it will making nuclear waste. People can fully destroy those nuclear waste. So the radioactive elements will stay on the Earth for thousands, even more than 100,000 years. According to Environment Pollution Center, uranium is one of the most common elements in nuclear power. And whenever people is burning nuclear power, there will cause a lot of uranium wasting, and the people have hard to solve them. Sometimes people will throw those nuclear waste into seas or under deep ground, but it will cost 1,000 years to making those wasting disappear completely. And we don't know what will happen during those years. Maybe some will get them out, or maybe will leak out and cause more issues in the environment, such as marine pollution. Species in the sea will die because of pollution caused by radioactive elements. Plants in the sea also will die, as people know that plants in the seas and the oceans can produce 70 to 80% oxygen on the Earth, so there will have less oxygen to let all the organisms to use. Also, using nuclear power plants will cause global warming. When less oxygen can produce, so more carbon dioxide will increase on the atmosphere. At the same time, the Earth's temperature will be higher and higher. Finally, causing iceberg dissolve and sea level go up. Soon, all the lands will be covered by the seas, so human beings will be extinct. For example, according to Harvey Worthman's article, How Nuclear Power Causes Global Warming, it says everyday large reactors like Diablo Canyons, California, individually dumped about 1.25 billion gallons of water into the ocean at temperature up to 20 degrees Fahrenheit or warmer than the natural environment. For this problem, more environment issues were caused by nuclear power plants. Second, having nuclear power plants will making human having large safety problem. When people have excessive exposure to radiation, it will cause many illnesses, such as leukemia, cancer, reproductive damage, deformed children, and so on. Those kind of illness also will damage next generation. Radioactive iodine tends to be observed by the thyroid gland, and it can cause thyroid cancer, said Dr. Linda Zobleska, an assistant professor in the Department of Epidemiology and Biostatistics at the University of California, San Francisco. According to what is radiation and how dangerous it is, it says high level can kill people by causing damage to your internal organs. It's difficult to treat high radiation exposure. Exposure to radiation over a long time can cause cancer. Because of reasons above, people against government are companies building more nuclear power plants to cause more safety issues. And I believe Professor Tsai will win the debate.
So many points. So many points.
I'm the first opposition speaker.
왜?
just big.
I wanna use this one. It's super easy.
I don't really have time to watch this.
Ah, Miss Kennedy. Miss Kennedy. Even I'm judge, I can like, can I wanna do like, so many ideas.
Oh, Miss Tanya, I'll have some notes.
Yeah, of course.
We have 15.
What?
Excellent.
Ready? Start. Hi, this is Sean, and I am from the first office. I am from opposition speaker for opposition side. First, I am going to review the proposition's argument, and I will say the opposition team's idea. They said the air pollution will get bad if we use the nuclear power plants, but if we use the other way to get energy is reusing fossil fuel power plants, and then fossil fuel power plants is burning burning things and getting source, so that can be make more like air pollution can become worse. And then I will say our position's idea now. So we need to use the nuclear power plants because nuclear power plants are the most efficient power plants. Other power plants cost a lot to build, like cost a lot of money to build, but it takes time to get enough energy. However, nuclear doesn't cost that much and that much to build compared to other power plants, and also it makes a lot of energy in a quick time. So there are also a reason why government should keep using nuclear power plants for the future is to use hydroelectric power station. The government have to build it nearby lake or river. If there are people living near river or lake, they have to move citizens near the lake or river to safe place, and they are also a chance that citizen doesn't want to move to the other places. If the government use solar power plants, they need a lot of empty spaces. Compared to hydroelectric power station, nuclear power doesn't need that much of land, and it offers like other power plants. So it is usually in a city. The nuclear power plants is usually in a city which doesn't have enough spaces for power plants. For example, Korea government need to build it because they don't have. Yes.
We already narrowed the topic to American government.
They don't have empty spaces. Right now, the biggest reason why the government doesn't want to use nuclear power plants and are because it is dangerous. So the reason why it is dangerous is because we are splitting nuclear and making energy, but in close future, all nuclear splits will change to nuclear fusion. If the government changes nuclear splits to nuclear fusion, it is way safer and easier to make more energy. Also, one of the problem is after finish using a nuclear power plant, it is hard to get rid of it clearly now because there are also a lot of leftover trash, but because they're splitting the nuclear source, and so if they change the split from fusion, it will have less leftover trash, and the nuclear power plants life will be longer because they can just change some. No, thank you. Change some of the old parts of without a big danger. So this can be a counter argument of the government stop using nuclear power plants. Thank you. And then that's the reason why the opposition stand rolling.
The thing is, did they? I still ask. That's what you When you said what did they say or what they say? No, they said the safety one. Did what they say? Split.
Oh, 1 minute.
Second also. I don't think second is.
And he has 2 months. You can
But you can see it's
Hi, I'm a second proposition side speaker March. Now I will review the compensation side point first. And they said will make air pollution, but we disagree them because we didn't mention that. And they also said will make quickly energy and faster, but they will make a lot of waste source and waste source. And they said they will build factory in they will build in cities, but we disagree with them because if they build in the city and will if make some dangerous that will hurt a lot of people. And I also want to add more example. The nuclear weapons are not safe for human, at least for now, because we don't have the technology for use nuclear weapon plant safety. The first nuclear power plant is in the world was built in 1954, and it's also 65 years from today. That is not enough the time to master nuclear technology. There have been several major nuclear crises in the world over the year. The first major crisis over the Soviet Union Chernobyl nuclear power plant in 1968. The incident results in the massive release for radiation from malfunctioning until the explode, according to International Atomic Energy Agency and the World Health Organization and the United Nations Development Program. The accident directly killed more than 4,000 people and indirectly affect at least 2.5 million people in Ukraine. What a horrible number. The second point is that nuclear leakage will bring great economic loss and the country and consume a lot of human and financial resource, because you need a lot of money to build nuclear weapon plant. You need a lot of money to maintain the nuclear power plant. You need a lot of money to build nuclear regulatory commission. You need a lot of money to buy extra nuclear fuel, and you need a lot of money to operate nuclear power plant without very stronger financial base in this country. For example, the 3 Mile Island nuclear plant leaked the United States happened in 1979. Although the accident did not cause much impact on the people and the environment.
Our source show by using nuclear power plant is need less money than our other plants, than using other
source.
or the Nuclear Association.
How?
How?
What? And the environment, their cleanup activity of United States government from 1979 to 1993 and cost more than $1 billion in 40 years. Our side will win. Thank you.
It doesn't cost that much. Yes.
He was like,
I
how?
even sent you. You didn't even read it,
The
right?
cost more than $1 million. It's impossible.
Just spend literacy.
Please, we can read more.
Like homework support.
Okay, just kick them out.
It can be like homework support. Sign up and go up.
Begin. Hello, I'm second opposition side speaker. So I want to leave it first. The proposition side mentioned about the Chernobyl, but it was a very long time ago. At the time, the human didn't have enough ability to build a nuclear power plant, and at the time there was the steps fault. So the staff make it that bad situation. And they mentioned about the also money, but actually that is fact to build a nuclear power plant. It take a lot of money, but the nuclear power plant efficiency is very good. I will mention about later. So the humanity have improved a lot. So humanity have made a lot of electric devices. So we need electric. We cannot live anymore without that electricity. Thus, our government should keep using nuclear power plant for electricity. I want to explain about nuclear power plant. It is nuclear power plant is making electricity by using stream from the nuclear fission. So there are some reasons why government should keep using the nuclear power plant for electricity. Some people may think that we can use other ways to generate the electricity instead of the nuclear power plant. However, efficiency of a nuclear power plant is better than any other ways because nuclear power plant efficiency is better than any others. Typical nuclear power plant achieve efficiency around 33% to 37% compared with fossil fuel power plant. In the future, it will be 45% efficiency. There is the reason U.S. government cannot give up the nuclear power plant, and also we use the fossil fuel power plants is most thing from they can make most electricity in the USA, but it makes the fossil fuel power plant is using fossil, but it will be it is very limited, so we need to change to nuclear power plant. Also, United States is already making a lot of electricity from nuclear power plant. Nuclear power plants are making 1/5 electricity each year since 1990 in US. That is very big proportion. And nuclear power plants are providing around 11% of electricity in the world, with largest producer being the United States and France. that is showing to us the nuclear power plants are safe and efficiency, and those are showing that nuclear power plants have more advantage than bad things. Some people they mentioned about we don't have enough technology, but some people. But I want to leave it about that. Some people think that something can replace the nuclear power plant, but we can compare with nuclear plant with the airplane. Airplane is similar with the nuclear power plant. If there is a airplane or nuclear power plant accident, it makes a lot of damage of human life. But however, the probability of accident is the lowest, and we don't have anything to replace the aircraft and nuclear power plants because nuclear power plants efficiency is too good to be replaced. So we have to be more safe and not stop. We have to make be more safe, not stop using nuclear power plants. That's why U.S. government must keep using nuclear power plants. Thank you.
Xiao, you can do it.
I thought someone was talking.
Judges, I'm ready. Begin. I'm Albert from the rebuttal for the rebuttal for the opposition side. Their first speaker said we need to study more technologies about nuclear power plants. And it destroys the environment. But however, our first speaker Sean said other plants cost they are more expensive than nuclear power plants. Also, they're expensive, but they are also have low quality to make energies for cities. So actually, we think nuclear power plants they cost less but work more. According to World Health Organizations, humanity started nuclear power plants very early, but they still didn't figure out a way to make the safety problem more better. But we think